Great rising, YouTube. Great rising, Facebook.
Just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Get your mats.
I'm walking.
Get your chairs. Get your weights. Get your spot if you're walking wall to wall. Great rising, great rising. Let's get this party started. Rise. On this Friday morning, rise. Hey, I don't think I got any camera issues. I already cleaned my glasses issues. Yes, great rises. Let me say great rises to Oh Chocolate. Yeah, yes indeed. My Jones, Diane, Mary, Canada, L, Charles, Loretta, I said Chanel, Cassandra, Patty, great rises, great rises. I think I did it again. I don't think I hit the button on my phone for YouTube for video. I may have done it for photo. So it's gone now. So, here we are. Great rises, great rises. It's a little cool out there. Still humid. But it's Friday. Yes. Wow. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I get a little comfortable at 7. Just doing the walk. Yeah. Ooh. I had to take a shower like twice yesterday. And I only bought 3 of these shirts, these cotton shirts. I wish I had bought 7. It would solve my whole problem. And they breathe so nicely. And they feel so good on your skin. Oh, I love them. That's it. We did the whole week. Oh, if you walked all this week or you worked out or you had your blood moving for 2.5 hours this week and be dropping off, we got Miss Vicky coming in tomorrow. We're going to do a repeat of Miss Vicky's video because I had the bathroom ventilation on. I had this fan going and I was wondering how I could hardly hear Miss Vicky, and I know you couldn't hear her at all. So we're going to do a repeat on that one. I can't remember which one she was talking about, but they're all good, so that's what we'll have. It's quick, fast walk. I'm trying to remember what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh! You know, it took me a long time to understand what the kids were saying. Now, hide your ears and mute me now because I'm getting ready to do some foul language. Ooh, let me get a little bit of water for my foul language. Okay. Water for my foul language. Now, when we was young, I was a young adult, we used to use the term, you must got me fucked up as somebody else. Like, it's like you mistaken me for somebody else. You apparently think that I'm someone that you can talk to like they nothing. So you got that fucked up. That's what so they say, you know, you got that fucked up. You know, you ain't talking to who you think you're talking to. That's how we used to use it. And so the kids, maybe about 5 years ago, I just heard the phrase, "You got me fucked." So I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. How can someone have you fucked? You know? And then one day it dawned on me, something said, say the whole phrase. You got me fucked up with somebody else. You got me fucked up with somebody else. And that's like how you coming at me a different way. Or how you coming at me. But we used to say, open your eyes and see me. Not that other person you fucking me up with. So you get what I'm saying? So then I was like, oh, they just shorten it. They just shorten it saying. Ooh, 5 minutes already. Child, let's quick little walk, this quick healthy little blood circulation walk. Whew. I tell you, so that's what I learned. So they just cut it short. And I totally get it because we used to say it all the time, you got me fucked up with somebody else. I don't know who you talking to because you got me fucked up with somebody else. Yes. I don't want them to say. When I was younger, I guess because my mother and them, you know, coming from that whole enslavement thing, they still had that baggage. And that baggage is basically because we've been beat down so much. Though, as Zora Neale Hurston said, she said in her book, the Negro woman is the muse of the world. But of course, when Oprah Winfrey remade His Eyes Was Watching God, Their Eyes Were Watching God. The name of the book is Their Eyes Were Watching God. She said, whoever did the script said, women's is the muse of the world. Now, I'm going with Zora Neale Hurston. I think she said the Negro woman or the colored woman. I don't think she was that advanced to say black, and surely they ain't advanced enough to say African American. Because when you say African American back in the day, if you mentioned African, they used to blow your ass off the street. You said African, they said pew. So you see, the ancestors are very happy that we are finally saying something that they cannot say. And ready to die for it. Okay. So, no, I don't see that. I was looking at this reality crime show, and this woman had married a con man. Now, he knew what he was marrying when he met her. She thought she had the upper hand because, you know, she's privileged. So of course she has the upper hand. But this was a straight up con man. He got raped, killed, everything. But for her, so what he did was he wanted to marry her. Because she kept saying, you know, I take my vows very seriously. I take my vows. So he was like, cool, babe. So they got married. And she took her vows very seriously. He could rip her off, take her money, all his... It didn't matter. It didn't matter what he did. She wanted to hold true to her vows under God. And he knew it. So no matter what he did, no matter what she caught him doing, she turned a blind eye. Because she had to try to keep the marriage going. They got married under God. And so he kept doing all the stuff that he was doing. Then finally she opened her eyes before her life was lost. And she snatched her money up and she ran out of there. Vows be damned. So, he sets her daughter up. Daughter was a groomer. sets the daughter up to meet with him. He comes at the daughter with a knife. The daughter kicked the knife out of his hand, stabbed him, and then took that knife and put it right through that bitch's eye. Oh, excuse my French. Ha ha! And days later he died. Now, why would she put the family through that? Why would she put her daughter, and the daughters are wanting her, and she's saying, God said I have to support him and to be subservient to him, no matter what he does. See, I would tell my boyfriends, future husband. So maybe I don't know enough about marriage, but Stephen's starting off like that. I used to tell him we get along cool as long as we working for the same goal. But I ain't going to jail for you. I ain't killing for you, and I ain't stealing for you. And if you steal, rob, or kill while you with me, I'm turning you in. So decide whether you want to be with me or not. I ain't doing it. God, devil, I don't give a shit. Martian men come down and stand over us as we get married. No. Because I notice y'all be married, like Teresa Dolce, or what her name from the New Jersey Housewife. They was married, but when she was in that jail cell, she was by herself. Huh? I said they was married, but when she was in jail, she was by herself. And she had no idea what was going on. I'm not that type of wife. My mother didn't make that. And I didn't make that in my daughter. And I hope to God that crap is put aside. Not doing it. So, I just looked at her. I was like, you had to wait to something horrible, to death, in order to get away from him. Now the daughter's all scarred up for a man you brought into their lives. You brought him in. But I imagine she was raised with you have to have a man. 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 You have to be able to take care of a man. You have to be able to feed a man. You have to be able to wash the man's clothes. You have to be able to dress the man. You have to be able to match the man's socks up. You have to be able to keep the man's shoes clean. You have to be able to wake the man up and ready to go to work. You have to take care of the man when he gets sick. That's marriage? Oh, in return, he'll pay the bills and protect you. And if you get sick, you're lucky if he takes care of you or cares. What? What? Ha ha! So, I just looked at her and I said, that's the difference between us. That's why our own race can't mate with us sometimes, and most times, and other races, they can't relate with African American women. We'll love you to death, but we just ain't. Our background is enslavement. We ain't rushing to the jail. That was Teresa. She never knew what it was like to be incarcerated. And her and the nigga, that's why they do all that fuck shit while they're there. If you never knew how it is to be in a place that you don't want to be and you can't leave, then you go to jail. But if you know how it is to be in prison, to want to leave and can't go, want to leave and can't go, you don't do prison. Prison is the last thing you want to do. You already been there. Maybe the gates didn't slide over, but it was prison nonetheless. You couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't do nothing. So, That really got to me. I felt sorry for that daughter that she brought that thing in. I always handle my things. So. And if, when you need them for like protection or something like that, and Lord knows I have needed them for that reason, especially when I was living in Mount Vernon, I kept 2 dogs and a man. Okay? Because that's what it was needed for, a single woman to survive in that atmosphere that I was in. 2 dogs and a man. The man was 6'2", 6'3", tall, skinny, and blacker than night. And nobody messed with him or us or the dogs. They was more scared of him than the dogs. I like to say yes the first half of this walk. Order your book, I like to say yes, from Archway Publishing, Barnes & Nobles, or Amazon. Keep the word yes in your child's vocabulary. Miss Vicky will be here tomorrow. Hey, y'all. Hey, Laverne. Hey, girl. Thanks for coming through. Let me get some water. Let's wrap this 15 minutes up on this Friday. Moving, moving. Let's get it. Moving, moving. Moving, moving. Let's get it. Moving, moving. So, yeah. So I thought that was something. I was like, my mother didn't teach me that unconditional attachment to a man. And I tried it. I did try it. Like the first time I tried it, and I tried it the second time with John Camacho. And when he said, I finally got a good job with enough insurance because he was in school. I got a good job, U in Plaza Hotel, union insurance for me, him, and my daughter. Vacation, bonus, the whole works. And he was working parking cars, and I just wanted to get out the bar. I had done bartending for 5 years, and I wanted to get out of it because I left corporate America, and I didn't want to be bothered anymore. So trade off. So I went back to corporate America. So I operated at the U in Plaza Hotel because that was my thing, communications. I learned it when I got my job out of high school. So, great job. More than enough paid for us to even move to get an apartment. And when I told him and I was so excited, he said, you can't take it. So I said, wait a minute. What do you mean we can't take it? We got no health insurance now. I just married you. So I'm under you. You got no health insurance. I got a daughter. And she was on state while I was doing my bartending gig. But I didn't want it to stay like that. I wanted to get a job and we get insurance and she gets on it. And he looked at me and he said, no, I forbid you to take that job. So I said, I went to the refrigerator and they had sandwich and cheese because they love cheese and bread. So I always kept like bread, cheese, and milk for her because that's all she wanted. And that's all we had. And I said, listen, John, this is not a lifetime commitment. If you go to DeBry, at that time I can't stand DeBry. I hope the whole business falls over. Because at that time, DeBry wouldn't let you do anything but go to school. If you had a job, DeBry told you to quit. If you had a part-time job, DeBry told you to quit. They wanted you 100% on that student loan. 100%. So I said to John, I did the research. They won't let you work. Matter of fact, you go to DeBry, because he was very smart. He was doing engineering. I said, matter of fact, to go to DeBry, you have to quit the job you got now. He looked at me and he said, well, make it. See, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I said, yeah, we'll make it because I got a job that's paying us good, and we got health insurance, and you can go to Dubai for 2-3 years if you want to, and when you finish, I'll stop. And he looked at me and he said, no, don't take the job. So I said, well, you're not going to Dubai. And he said, yeah, I'm going to go to Dubai. I'm going to quit my job. And I said, well, how are we going to pay the rent? And he said, don't worry, we will. I don't understand that. White women understand that. I guess Hispanic women understand that too. I don't understand that. It was totally foreign for me. Totally foreign for me. So I knew we was on our way to divorce. Not only me getting the mother over here, that's another long story. As we walk, I'll tell you about that one, but not today. So I knew that was the beginning and the end of our relationship. Because he looked at me and he says, do you love me? And I said, yes, I do. I never knew love until I met John Tomato. Never, never. No one ever loved me. It's always sex. I didn't know it was love. It was always sex. No love. Bam, bam. It was nice. Shake hands and then you go your way. I didn't know about no love. Cuddling. Canoodling. Passionate words after sex and before sex talk. I never knew that. Never. Until John Camacho. He said, you love me. And I said, yes, I do. He said, I love you. And as long as we have love, we can make it. I don't know the concept. I got no idea what you're talking about. He was saying, awooga wagga wooga, wada woody wada woo. If he was telling me I was supposed to be broke for love. So I said, you don't understand, John. That ain't happening. We can't be here with no income. And then of course he said, what is that phrase from that book? The lilies of the fields do not toil and do not, but yet they're taken care of. I was like, are you out of your mind? I'm 28 years old. Carmen, Connie. I worked 2 years, you go to school 2 years, at 30 we be slamming? Are you freaking kidding me? You're asking me to no money and go to school? Who paying for gas? How do you, don't worry, he told me, it'll come. I don't understand that concept. I know I was raised in Christianity and they talked all that Jesus stuff, but in reality they never believed it because they said always make sure you can put food in your stomach. They never said always make sure that the blonde hair, blue-eyed guy, they never said that. Even though they dragged me to church, they still told me I had to work. My grandmother never looked at me and said, well, you know, he takes care of the little in the fields, he'll take care of you. When I went out and got a job, until I got a job, she was so happy. That was the first time I ever made that woman happy. She said, good, because you know you're going to have to always be able to take care of yourself. You're going to have to do this. She was like, you in training already. So when John Camacho was talking about me, about the toiling, I don't understand that concept. As African American, as a woman herself, my grandmother worked. She was a seamstress. She was a cook. She babysat. She cleaned houses. She had, I don't know how many kids that didn't make it. Worked in in the field, everything. Everything. And how my husband never told her, well, you just sit back and you just put your feet up because the earth will take care of you. I mean, not saying that it can. I'm just saying we wasn't brought up like that, so that's not in our mindset. Native Americans are born with that mindset. They don't need money. They know it's coming. That's not the concept that I was brought up to. We came from the people who were kidnapped and brought over here and enslaved. And in enslavement, we were taught certain things. Women working was one of them. Ain't I a woman? Sojourner Truth? Let's do some fingers. So I don't know that. I don't know sit home and drink mint tea and that's okay and don't worry my husband has. I know some women don't know how to, when to put their oil in, when to put, even how to put the freaking gas in the car. They have no idea. But that's okay. They were raised probably with mothers who had no ideas. I didn't. My mother pumped gas. I don't know that stuff. I watched my grandmother in the backyard digging a hole in the ground. And everybody kept saying, Mom, why are you doing it? We can do it. And she says, because I can. That's what I came from. I didn't come from the side to sit there and say, y'all get that shovel now. Dig that dirt for me. Put that hole in there because I want to do these these oysters. She didn't. She snatched up the shovel, went out there and started doing it herself. So I don't know that side. That's not me. And I don't want to be that. But I realize that the ruler that sets me, that measures me as a woman, is basically drawn from white people. And it does not apply to me. It does not. You were sitting on the veranda sipping milk tea. We were working in the fields. Or you were so poor. You were so poor and broke, you're sitting in your shack just pumping out babies that are starving while your man runs around getting drunk all over town. But that's okay, y'all was privileged, y'all was white, y'all ain't had to work. If your baby starved, at least they starved being white. No concept. I don't know that concept. My baby wasn't going to starve. My baby was never going to starve as long as I breathed. She ain't never did it. She ain't never going to starve now that she grew. I taught her how to do it. That's where I come from. That's my background. Not sit there and say, oh, I don't have to think. My husband will think for me. I wasn't raised like that. You better people find out how much that electricity bill is for your ass wind up in the dark. Then what the kids going to do when the refrigerator go out. You see what I'm saying? The whole focus is on the kids. 15, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, if you want somebody to work with you, you better get you an African American woman. Because, honey, she got the smarts, she got the power. Okay? And she'll help you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, One for good luck. I gotta tell you, in the scheme of things, since I became an adult, I really haven't met stay-at-home women. I don't know of any. Of either color. I don't know of any. I've heard of them. I've seen them. I know they're there. I worked for a few of them. But they weren't my friends. I didn't acknowledge them. They were my employer. But, no. Like I tell you, when I was a kid, them white women was fainting on the TV all the time, honey. Every movie, they would go down. I would sit in class and look at my white teachers, and I knew at any moment they would faint. Any second. I was so nervous. Well, what do you do if she faints? What does she do? We didn't have the 911 thing there. She's so weak. She's so frail. She's so weak. She's so frail. That's what I was taught white people was on TV. We didn't make the TV. Y'all did. Y'all said they faint all the time. They're weak women that get headache and pass out all the time. That ain't us. Hey, another weekend. Thanks for walking with me. I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you Monday. But I'll see you tomorrow. Yay! Yay! We're done, y'all. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for the walk. See ya. Oh, like, comment, share, subscribe, YouTube. Hit the like button. Thank you. See you tomorrow.